Welcome to this explainer. Whenever you punch the gas pedal, have you ever stopped to wonder what's actually keeping your car's engine from just tearing itself apart under all that extreme heat and pressure? We normally think of engines as just these massive blocks of metal, gears, and combustion, right? But today, we're going to look at something way cooler. We're diving into the unseen electronic guardians, this incredibly sophisticated network of sensors that are actively working behind the scenes to protect your engine from catastrophic mechanical damage and overheating. Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with part 1, the engine's nervous system. Then part 2, stopping severe engine detonation. Part 3 is preventing catastrophic overheating. Part 4, monitoring vital oil pressure. And finally, part 5, emergency modes and failsafes. All right, starting us off with section 1, the engine's nervous system. Now, what's really interesting about this is if you think of your car engine almost like a living entity. To survive, it literally needs a sensory network to detect, well, pain, things like extreme heat or bone-on-bone friction. And sitting right at the center of this network is the brain, the electronic control unit, or the ECU. It's a central processor that constantly receives just massive amounts of incoming data from all the engine sensors. It processes all of that in mere milliseconds and then transmits rapid-fire control signals out to the vehicle's actuators. It's essentially making these split-second life-or-death decisions to keep your engine running. To really understand how the ECU pulls this off, we're going to focus on 3 primary guardian sensors today. First up, the NOx sensor, which is actively listening for metal NOx. Then the coolant temperature sensor, which monitors heat variations. And finally, the oil pressure sensor, which watches your system lubrication. Let's move right into section 2, stopping severe engine detonation. So inside those engine cylinders, we're dealing with controlled explosions. But what happens when they stop being controlled? There's a massive difference between normal combustion, which gives you that nice, smooth operation, and engine detonation. Detonation is practically a violent shockwave. It literally sounds like metal knocking inside the cylinders. And if this prolonged detonation just keeps going, it can cause severe, totally irreversible engine damage. So this is exactly where the NOx sensor comes in. Mounted right on top of the cylinder block, it acts like a super sensitive microphone, constantly listening for those dangerous metal knocks. And this brilliantly illustrates how the engine defends itself. It's a quick 3-step process. First, the NOx sensor detects that those metal knocks have exceeded a safe threshold. Second, the ECU instantly analyzes those sensor readings. And third, here's the real protective action. The ECU adjusts the ignition advance angle. Basically, by changing the exact timing of the spark, the ECU completely neutralizes the detonation, getting you back to smooth operation before the engine can destroy itself. All right, on to section 3, preventing catastrophic overheating. Okay, so we've tackled destructive vibrations. Let's pivot to the absolute most common engine killer, the thermal meltdown. Your engine's thermal journey is constantly being monitored by the coolant temperature sensor. When you first fire up a cold engine, this sensor tells the ECU to run a higher idle and a richer fuel ratio. Then, as you hit that perfect operating temperature, it settles into normal operation. But if that operating temperature is ever exceeded, the ECU activates the radiator fans immediately. It forcefully draws heat away to prevent catastrophic overheating. But hey, the ECU doesn't just keep this vital information to itself. While it's frantically managing radiator fans and tweaking fuel ratios behind the scenes, that exact same temperature data is also routed directly to the vehicle's dashboard display. It keeps you in the loop so you know exactly when you need to pull over if the system gets overwhelmed. Which brings us to section 4. Monitoring vital oil pressure. So the third major mechanical threat is catastrophic friction. Without oil, moving metal parts will quite literally weld themselves together in minutes. To stop this, the oil pressure sensor sits at the very beginning of the oil gallery to monitor system lubrication. Now, unlike the NOx or coolant sensors we just talked about, this one generally doesn't alter engine operation directly. Instead, it serves as a critical final warning. If pressure drops, it throws that dreaded low-pressure light on your dash, basically screaming at you to shut the engine down immediately. Some cars actually take this a step further with an oil level sensor. This little guy monitors the physical oil level and informs the driver of low fluid. But its most extreme protective measure? It's absolutely brilliant. It can communicate directly with the ECU to stop the engine from starting at all. It just flat out refuses to let you destroy your own engine.
Let's move to and see how this builds into Section 5, emergency modes and failsafes.
So what happens when this incredible sensory nervous system actually breaks down? Well, the ECU is programmed with built-in fail-safes. If there is missing or inaccurate sensor data, the ECU enters emergency mode. If an extreme problem is detected, the engine stops running entirely. And if the ECU's constant self-diagnostics detect an issue, a dashboard warning light appears to let you know something is wrong.
So the crucial point is how this emergency mode actually works. When a sensor completely dies, the ECU enters emergency mode, replacing the missing data with the average data stored in the ECU, as well as data from other sensors whenever possible. It's this incredible piece of mathematical guesswork. The engine is basically flying blind in one eye, but it uses its past experience to limp you home safely. And this brings all the mechanics right back to you in the driver's seat. That check engine light isn't just there to annoy you, it's the direct result of the ECU recognizing a failure in its protective network. To find out what's wrong, you just discover the cause of the warning light by reading the error code directly from the electronic control unit.
So I want to leave you with this thought. The next time a warning light appears on your dash, will you know which sensor is trying to save your engine? Whether it's the knock sensor fighting off shock waves, the coolant sensor battling a meltdown, or the oil sensor preventing catastrophic friction, your car has an entire unseen team working split second by split second to keep you moving safely. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer, and we'll catch you on the next one.